Welcome to the show. I'm JJ Flazanes, your host. Thank you for downloading today's episode. And once again, happy 2020. Today's show is about Ho'oponopono. And we did a show called Napping Your Way to Millions. It was a couple episodes ago with Steve Little. And he talked about Ho'oponopono. And it's something that I had heard about, I knew a little bit about, but I really didn't know about it. I've seen ads for it recently on Facebook. I took a moment to find the very first person that I had heard it from, who is Mabel Katz. And I reached out to her and invited her on the show to talk about how Ho'oponopono works and what it is. Before we get into today's episode, I just want to remind you it is the 7th of January and you have 3 days left if you want to come to Releasing What Weighs You Down. It will be the last one. It will be epic. It will be amazing. It will be gorgeous and beautiful. I am looking forward to what the environment will bring to us on top of the work that we're going to be doing inside the room and in the workshop itself. So check out releasingwhatweighsyoudown.com if you want to come. Again, you can sign up till right before we start. So you have until Friday. I believe we start at 7:30 p.m. You need to travel to get there. Check-in is at 4 at 1440 Multiversity, but check that out. Also, for those of you that don't know, we are doing a 30-day manifestation challenge right now inside the Inner Circle membership. That is $9.99 a month. And I'm loving how engaged everybody is and the things that we're doing in there. So if you want to come join us, you get a 7-day free trial. You can go to jjflazanes.com/inner circle, and all of these links will be in the show notes. So in order to start off today's episode, I just wanted to say that I have a theme that's coming in the next couple of months, and some of that theme are different ways to heal. And I know a lot of what I talk about on the show are different ways to heal different things: psychological, emotional, physical, hormonal, digestive health, neurological, and neuroscience. It really is all sort of about the healing process, but it's also, if you really think about it, it's also about being present. I don't want you all to overthink this. I don't want you to overthink what work do I need to be doing to improve myself so that later down the line, I can be happy. I'm having a very important interview this week that will appear in February on the show. And in doing a little bit of homework for that and exposing myself to different law of attraction conversations, it becomes clear again and again that I don't want you to overthink, overdo, overanalyze. While I love analysis, it's only to get from point A to point B. And point B literally is to feel better. That every thought, every action that you do is to be present and feel better. It's not so that you're living someone else's ideal life. It's not so you're hitting someone else's mark. Oh, and by the way, for those of you that would like the freedom and the accountability to all of that, I do have a few spots left in my Inner Circle Mastermind, and you would just email me, jj@jjflazanes.com, if you want to have a quick chat about whether or not it's the right fit for you. And there is a guarantee that you will make your investment back, or we'll keep working with you until you do, because it's a pretty minimal amount compared to every other mastermind in the world that's serious about business. And mine actually also does the emotional and mental as well. So, and the physical, because of course I still encourage people to exercise and work out and take care of their bodies and to really love themselves first through all that self-care and implementing more self-care practices. So with that said, this is an awesome technique that everybody can use today. The point of everything I'm going to share in the next couple of months and always are just tools that might translate to you really effectively, or maybe not, and that's okay. Throw out what doesn't work. But the point is to get to joy, get to happy, get to peace, get to trust, get to surrender, whatever way you can easily. Get there and stay there. Be present. Be the observer. Be in joy. Live fearlessly and just love your life. That's the point. We're not here that long. We do come back, but we're not here that long. So let's leave worry behind. Let's burn the idea of worry and doubt and overthinking and disconnection and over worrying, all those icky things that we have momentum in, possibly in 2019. Let's just decide right now to expand yourself into a place in 2020 that doesn't allow anything except joy and being in the moment. And again, even if you're having an issue, look at it as a gift, look at it as an opportunity, and just take a deep breath and thank yourself for being here every day. Life is a gift. Dame Mabel Katz is an internationally acclaimed speaker, author, and seminar leader who is recognized as a leading authority on Ho'oponopono, an ancient Hawaiian art and practice for achieving greater clarity of purpose and living, as well as working more effectively. She has crafted a series of keynotes, talks, and seminars for corporations, businesses, and individuals, including seminars for children that apply the practices of Ho'oponopono to bring companies closer to their full potential and give people an edge at work and in all areas of life. Welcome to the show, Mabel.
Thank you. It's so great to be with you. Thank you for inviting me.
Well, when I wanted to talk about Ho'oponopono, I remembered you from our days of being in inspiration to realization, 15, 16, 17 years ago, feels like decades at this point. And I remember that
Amazing.
you were an expert in that. And I remember not understanding it at all. And I didn't even know what to ask you. And so now fast forward almost again 20 years later, I now understand it. I now know more about it. And now I have questions. So welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. And yes, amazing. So many years ago, we were already, in our path and trying to find something that, fit us. So wherever you were, it was perfect.
Yes, and I'm now ready. I'm ready to have this conversation. So thank you for coming on the show. There are other people that talk about it as well, but I wanted to go back to the first time I heard it, which was from you. So let's first explain to everyone who's listening what Ho'oponopono is.
Ho'oponopono is a very ancient Hawaiian art of problem solving that tells us that we are 100% responsible, that we are creating our life. We like it or not, what we are attracting or manifesting in our life is just memories that are playing in our subconscious mind. So we are 100% responsible of that, not guilty, but responsible. And when you take responsibility, you actually set yourself free. Ho'oponopono is about deleting those memories replaying in the subconscious mind. If you are taking responsibility, if you are letting go, God can transmute those. So it is kind of letting go and letting God doing the work. Our part is just allowing God to do the erasing. In Ho'oponopono, we talk about cleaning, we talk about erasing. And again, it's just that when we say I have a problem with money or relationships or a health issue, it's just realizing there are memories inside of you and you actually have everything inside of you to solve those problems.
How did you learn about Ho'oponopono and start using it?
Well, on my way or my path of searching for happiness and peace, I thought there has to be an easier and faster way. I don't know if you remember, back then I was a tax accountant. I was specialized in taxes in Los Angeles. And, all this was also very new to me. But when I woke up and I decided to start my search, I did a lot of things that had to do with drama or blaming somebody in your life for your problems. And I thought there has to be an easier and faster way. And one thing, took me to the next, and I ended up in a Ho'oponopono training in Omaha, Nebraska in July of 1997. And I met who was then my teacher for over 10 years, Dr. Ihalia Kalahiulen. I noticed that there was something there, but I didn't get how profound this was or that was what I was looking for till I took the training many, many times. In Omaha, Nebraska, I invited him, to come to LA that I would organize and promote the seminar. And then it's kind of a long story. I've never done it, to teach anything. Again, I was happy with my profession, but this letting go and trusting, changed my life.
And so when you started using it on yourself, you said it was just to feel better?
It was being at peace. We do it to be at peace no matter what is going on. We do it to be at peace even if the problem uh, doesn't get resolved the way we want it or when we want it. It is how we can be at peace or being happy even if you have a problem or the other person doesn't change or you get fired from a job, or, that's what we are looking for, just to be at peace and happy, no matter what.
So in 1997, did you
Seven.
say?
Yes.
You started to learn it, you took a course, and then you started to use it. And then what helped you to move from being an accountant to teaching it?
Well, so I was promoting the seminars, I was organizing for my teacher. And then I started being officially teaching with him. And then one day, again, it was kind of a hobby for me, a weekend thing. And it was more kind of a personal thing. But then one day, I remember we came back from one of the trainings and he told me, remove my picture because I don't do this anymore. So, because we had a flyer where the picture of both of us was there. So that was the first time I had a thought that said, maybe I can do this. So I asked him to meditate and he got the okay for me to teach. And I started teaching by myself. But again, as a hobby, as something, like a secret identity, I was still a tax accountant. But again, I learned to let go and trust, and I really practice it. And life was kind of, taking me places. I started traveling. I started with a TV show and radio show in Los Angeles for the Latino community. And then, I started having teleclasses and people from all over the world, joined those teleclasses and I started receiving invitations from all over the world. Again, I kept going as an accountant and this was a hobby. But at one point in November of 2008, I just woke up and I said, I'm not preparing any more taxes. I called my kids and I said, you will have to find another accountant. I'm not preparing any more taxes. And I think from 2000, from then, this is, all I do. November 2008.
Wow. And I want to know, I know you said you were trusting and you were just sort of stepping into whatever was unfolding. Was there ever a desire for you to change professions?
No, no, not really, because I was born in Argentina. My degrees are from Argentina, and I was a very successful accountant in Argentina, and I was very successful in US too. So no, and I actually like it because it was easy for me because I used to help people too. That is a scary part for people. The accounting, the taxes, the IRS, and so and it was wonderful, a wonderful career. But probably, it wasn't my passion. I many times I ask people, what is it that you would do even if you don't get paid, but because you love it? And because when I was asked that question, and I was still an accountant, the response I gave, it was so ridiculous, JJ. A couple of years ago, I found my notes, and if it wasn't because I recognized my handwriting, I would tell you somebody wrote it for me. So I actually wrote traveling the world, sharing with others what had helped me. So, and I didn't have a clue. That was really ridiculous at that point. But this is what I do. And this is what I do for a living.
I love it. And obviously it's working. And I know that it's a very powerful tool. Can you explain to everybody how it works and what it is, like what it
Yes,
entails?
yes. Okay, so like I mentioned before, 100% responsibility is the first thing, okay? And then is, I'm sorry, please forgive me for whatever is in me that created this. So you are coming like a little child, innocent. We don't know what it is in us, but we have to take responsibility that there is something in us that is attracting it. And, and, and actually that gives the possibility of actually changing it ourselves. It gives us, the power back to us to change it. So one day, my teacher, Dr. Ihalia Kalahiulen, heard divinity tell him, tell them just to say thank you. I know what they mean. So the thank you and the I love you actually replace the I'm sorry, please forgive me. actually replaced a very long sentence that we used to have to repeat mentally. When I learned Ho'oponopono, it wasn't as easy as it is right now. We had to repeat a very, very long sentence, make mental list of what we were, cleaning. We thought that we had to clean with. And so the change of going to just say thank you was a big one. Now, Ho'oponopono becomes really famous because Joe Vitale discovers my teacher, and he writes a book that is called Zero Limits, and he says that Ho'oponopono is I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. But really, the thank you and the I love you came to replace the I'm sorry, please forgive me. But still, every time you say thank you or every time you say I love you, what you are doing is taking responsibility and saying, I'm sorry, please forgive me for whatever is in me. So, like I said before, you are coming as a little child, and you are telling actually God, we are working directly with God here, no third parties. And I said, God, I'm sorry. I don't know what it is, but whatever is in me. And it takes so that's the way we let go. The thank you and the I love you is a way of letting go. And then you are, again, like I said, you are allowing God to do the transmutation. It's not you actually cleaning, it's not you doing the erasing, you are allowing for the erasing to happen. It's like, sometimes I explain it like pressing the delete key in your computer. You don't need to understand how the computer erases, how it works, how it's been programmed to erase. You just need to remember where to press this key. And the thank you and the I love you is a way of pressing that key for the computer to erase. So 100% responsibility, what is it in me? By just repeating thank you or I love you. The other thing that the thank you and the I love you does for you, it brings you to present. We are never present. And that's a big problem. We are always living in the past or worrying about the future. So the thank you and the I love you also brings you to present. And that's when inspiration can come into your life.
So we're no longer using the I'm sorry and please forgive me?
You can use it. And I always tell people, when they come to my trainings, if you have it already incorporated and it's natural in you, let's call it another tool. We have many, many tools, many, many ways of doing it. On the years that I spent with Ihaliakala, that's when he started receiving plenty of easy tools. The thank you and the I love you, there are just two, and they are wonderful tools. And even if you have only those two, you can see changes in your life.
I guess I'm drawn to liking the I'm sorry and please forgive me for sort of that humbling nature of, I don't know, of just like you said, taking
Yes.
responsibility, because I teach a lot of attraction from that point of view as you are teaching this in terms of responsibility, not guilt, like not to feel badly, but if you can own that you have attracted something and it's something you don't want, you can change it. And it's more empowering than it is blaming. And it's not that you did something wrong or there's something wrong with you, but again, like you said, it's about taking responsibility, because from that point of view, there's something you can do about it. But do about it in a proactive way, not in a beat yourself up kind of feeling badly about it, there's something wrong with me kind of way. So I don't know, I'm
Yeah.
drawn to the I'm sorry and please forgive me as well. And that's just me, maybe because I don't think enough people ask for forgiveness and not enough people say I'm sorry. So I think it's a great practice to do all of them, but I love the simplicity of just doing thank you, I love you. So can we go through both of those scenarios in terms of a process of how somebody would use it in a situation where they're unhappy or they want to find peace?
Yes. So I have many things to tell you. First of all, if you like it and it feels, like I said, natural, and you have it already incorporated, I would continue. There are people that cannot say thank you and I love you, for example, unless they feel it. And in Ho'oponopono, let's clear this because it's very important. This is a big misunderstanding out there. First of all, you are not saying it to anybody outside yourself. You do not need to feel it. You can even say it, mad, thank you, or I love you, I love you. You don't have to think of the person, you don't have to think of the problem, and you don't need to feel it. So these are very important things. You are pressing a delete key. You are giving permission to God to transmute. So this is a very important part. So, like I said, we have many tools, because there are, it feels good for you to say, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Some people will never say that. So one day I asked Ihaliakala why we had so many tools. And he told me different tastes. Yeah, we have for all tastes. So the idea is, what is it that will help you to let go instead of engaging or reacting or blaming? Yes, 100% responsibility sets you free. I was there sitting, I don't know, it was my fifth, sixth, I don't know, 10th seminar in less than a year or two. And I just realized, and I said, wait a minute, yeah, if I am 100% responsible, that means I created it? Wow, I can change it. Like I said, it gives you the power back to you. Otherwise, when you blame, you are giving your power away. Oh, now you depend on the other person to do or to behave or change or whatever. So definitely, even when you say thank you or I love you or any other tool that you use in Ho'oponopono, you are saying, I'm sorry, please forgive me. It's incorporated. But if you feel like saying it, nothing wrong with that. I'm going to tell you how I even use it. For me, it works wonders just repeating, I let go and trust, I let go and trust, I let go and trust. Let's say that I have a scary situation, something, I receive an email, something happened. Uh, I don't know. I don't even know what to do, where to run. In those cases, I just go, I let go and trust, I let go and trust, I let go and trust, and I don't stop. Okay? It's not like I'm not worried or I'm not fearful anymore or nothing or a superwoman, but I'm not giving the control to the fear or the anxiety or even the thinking, that takes me again to the past. I had a situation, a financial situation where I was already, dedicated 100% to this new profession of mine. I didn't have the income from my accounting, practice anymore. But I was counting with some income, and that income disappeared kind of overnight. And I got really scared because I had already a lot of employees. It wasn't for me personally, that I needed a lot of money. But I said, how am I going to pay all these people? This is a new career, etc., etc. So my intellect, very logical, said, oh, you will have to go back to preparing taxes again, you know? And it was a logical idea, yeah, maybe I should have gone and preparing taxes again. But I made a decision in that moment. And I had kind of a conversation with God, and I said, hey, God, you know why I'm here? You know how much I need and when? I'm not going to worry. So it's not, again, that I didn't worry anymore, but because I was conscious enough when the worry showed up, the fear, the anxiety, I would look up and say, I'm not going to worry. I'm not going to worry, like a little child. And JJ, I didn't have to fire anybody. I actually hired more people. And the money didn't come from places I could have imagined, visualized, affirmed, or anything like it. And since that day, my business, if you want to call it that way, it all runs by emails. Are emails that come in with invitations, with buying the copyrights of my books. I'm a self-published author, but I sold the copyrights of my books in over 15 languages, and everything is an email. So one day somebody asked me if I had a marketing department or something, and I said, and I actually thought about it because I was kind of shocked by the question, because I do not have a marketing department. So I said, you know what? I just realized my marketing department is up there, somewhere in the cloud. And on top of that, it doesn't charge me. So can you imagine, even I'm not going to worry. It gave permission to God to accommodate, to help, to protect, to guide, and to resolve.
That's awesome. So all you did was say, I let go and trust. And what's, again, the protocol? I know you
Or
said,
I'm not going to worry. Or I'm
I'm,
not going to worry.
I'm not going to worry.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I let go
And
and trust. And
yes.
obviously I'm not going to worry. But you said it doesn't mean you're not worrying. It just means you're not giving the power to the worry or not concern. And
Exactly. I'm
yeah.
stopping the worry, the fear, because we identify with that, and that's not who we are. We are above fear and above worry and about everything. So Ho'oponopono helps you to live a more conscious life, to be more present, to be able to become the observer again. Because our real identity is the observer, the one that came to live the experiences, that came to correct. The word Ho'oponopono means how to correct an error. And we are here to correct errors from past lives or from ancestors.
Okay. Now, if someone is going through something and they want to, and I know you said there are many tools and the I let go and trust, or I'm not going to worry. I'm going to go back to the I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, because I think there's a specific order that it was done in, the order that you're to say it in, or no?
No, that was Joe Vitale's idea or inspiration.
Right.
So,
But
and you can get your own tools too. When you have a problem, you can say, how do I clean? And maybe you can hear the 4 phrases, and even in a different order or not. You can hear, or a thought comes to you of thank you, and you just repeat thank you or I love you, or even light switch, to bring the light. All these tools in Ho'oponopono is about turning on the light. A problem means that the light is off, so who is going to turn on the light? And you turn it off for you, but the light doesn't discriminate. So you are helping everybody when you do it.
so would it be safe to say that a lot of the teachings are really about affirming that connection, or affirming, like you just said, about the light versus the dark? Like, would you consider it affirmations, or you're using a specific mantra to, again, turn on the light, to not worry, to let go and let God?
I'm stopping the intellect. That's what I'm doing. I call it the crazy of the house, because we are always engaging with our own stories. And if you are there, you are coming from memories, and we want to come more from inspiration. So whatever helps you to stop and come back to present, that way it will help.
So basically, we would repeat a mantra of some kind, one of these tools, in order to get back into the present.
Exactly. It brings you back to the present. So it stops the fear. The fear, like I said, it could be there, but you don't give it the power or the control. So I don't know if you are familiar with Dr. Jill Bolte Taylor and
Yes.
her book, My
Yes.
Stroke of Insight.
Yes.
Well, I found it fascinating when I read that book, because it's really Ho'oponopono. She describes the left hemisphere as comical. She says, it's always talking, always making stories, inventing even, the stories. If so, and she says she only allow her left hemisphere to vent, make stories, 9 to 9:30 in the morning and 9 to 9:30 at night. And she says the rest of the day, she says, thank you, but I'm busy. So even thank you, I'm not buying, or thank you, I have more important things to do, or things. So what are we doing? We are stopping the stories and coming back to present. Inspiration cannot come if we are thinking, if we are talking, if we are, around the noise, it's a moment, it's a second, but in that second that you say thank you, inspiration comes and your life changes.
But doesn't inspiration come through as an idea, or as a feeling, or as an image?
Yeah, but for that you have to be blank. It's not when you are thinking. They say that 80% of the business problems are not resolved during business hours. It is that idea that you got in a dream, or when you were taking a shower, or you were connecting to to nature. So we want, again, to be more conscious, more present to receive that inspiration. Otherwise, if you are in the past or in the future, you lose.
So then we can say that Ho'oponopono is almost like a talking meditation.
I would say this is a 24-hour meditation. How can you be in that consciousness moment by moment? Know who you are moment by moment, not engaging with, everything that you are not, that are these memories, the thoughts, uh, the beliefs.
I've had a couple stories on the show about Ho'oponopono, and that's one of the reasons why I thought, okay, we could talk about this. And I was looking for you and trying to connect with you to get you on the show because I wanted to share that this technique and this tool. And so if someone was to want to start using it today, and I know you've given us a bunch already, what would be your recommendation for where to start?
Next time you have a problem, you have to kind of step back, observe, kind of let it go through, keep your mouth shut as much as you can. I mean, it's easy to say, and I know that, okay, because I still engage and I still have opinions and judgments and I still blame. So I also do the best I can moment by moment. But be as conscious as you can. And next time that you have a problem, just repeat something, whatever it is that comes into your mind. Again, it could be, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. Or I'm sorry, please forgive me for whatever is in me. Or even say, God, I give this one to you because this is too much for me. Or God, I need help. Yeah, because actually, what you are doing is asking for help. The help cannot come unless you ask. And Ho'oponopono is a way of asking. That's what you are doing. So, or you say, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Or even, if you are mad, at somebody or whatever, thank you for being in my life or whatever. You make it even funny. I have an app that I made that is actually all these things just so that I can put a smile in your face when you are engaging, when you cannot let go or say thank you or something. And, you can flash the problem through the toilet or send it with a balloon, or erase it with the ocean or, different things. We even have an eraser there. But that's the thing. We have to start laughing about our problems. And one thing you have to do is breathe when you have a problem, and go back to the thank you, the I love you, the I'm sorry, please forgive me, the whatever, I'm not gonna worry, or light switch, light switch, light switch. Again, you are turning on the light, or I let go and trust. So many things, but that you trust your own inspiration, whatever comes, in that moment that helps you again to be present and to let go.
So what kind of things do you do in the workshops that you provide? Because you are still doing workshops, correct?
Yes. A lot of people, once in Croatia, they asked me, but in a conference, they say, what are you going to talk a whole day if all you're going to tell us is just say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. But it's funny because there is the trainings are actually more for the subconscious mind, not the intellect. Yeah. So I always ask people, open your mind, because I tell a lot of weird stories, and we talk about some things that maybe that doesn't make sense, but feels good, feels at peace. You actually get out of there, feeling certain feelings that you couldn't feel before. You open up, you are more conscious, you're observing more. So there is a lot of information to give, to the intellect, to the subconscious mind, to be able to do it. Because what we do in the Chinese is reprogramming. We are reprogramming, and it's not gonna happen overnight. We work with the inner child. In Ho'oponopono, we say the subconscious mind is the inner child. So you make this connection with your inner child that is not you when you were a kid. This is no psychology thing. This is the subconscious mind is not on this plane. So this is a part of you that has all the memory that you have accumulated, since your creation. So you make a connection because your subconscious mind is, for example, the one that handles all your body functions without you thinking, like the breathing, like circulating your blood, and many others. Yeah. So this is the part that can do the cleaning for you 24 hours a day. And to be honest with you, that's our goal, because memories play all the time. Many times you are avoiding things. So we always tell people you have to do this all the time. You never know, again, what you avoided, what could have happened. Uh, and the thing is, to be 24 hours a day cleaning, or have this part of you, helping you with the cleaning, you have to reprogram yourself. And you reprogram your subconscious mind. A lot of things happen in the trainings that the physical eyes don't see, that we cannot realize, but a lot of cleaning happens in those trainings, and many times it would have taken you many lifetimes, to erase so many memories. So they are really profound, and sometimes a whole day is not enough.
I understand. I do retreats as well. So let's tell people where to find out more information about your books and about your retreats.
So mabelcats.com is my page, and the calendar is there, is finishing. The calendar for 2020 will come up soon, or in a month or so. But there you can find my books. I have a new book that is Malujia, the Happy City, that is for adults and for children. As well, is a book that gives you these concepts of Ho'oponopono, but in stories. And it's a wonderful book to allow kids, to be happy now, that they don't have to wait like we did, and for adults to open up. Yeah, for some people it could be science fiction, but these are actually real stories. And everything, again, you find it in Mabel Katz. My social media, you can find me in Facebook as Mabel Katz fan page, and then Instagram, Twitter, as Mabel Katz only.
Okay, and that's mabelkatz.com,
Yes.
mabelkatz.com. One more question before we wrap up today. I want to talk a little bit more about the zero frequency principle.
Yes. The zero frequency book hopefully will come up also in 2020. Zero frequency is something that I created. I do a 1 day Ho'oponopono, and in the zero frequency, the second day, what I present is everything that had helped me to be more conscious, to trust more, to let go more. So it allows me to do processes. Zero frequency is more for the intellect. I always feel that my mission is to wake up people. I share Ho'oponopono because it's the only thing I practice. I know it works, but I know it's not for everybody. So zero frequency allows me to give you different ideas of how to practice, how to live more at zero, more conscious, be more present. And again, I share with you the things that help me to do it more. So it's kind of a practical way of doing Ho'oponopono in everyday life. Finding your passion. For me, a perfect world would be one that we all do what we love, and then we wouldn't have money problems or any other problems, and we wouldn't be, thinking about hurting or taking advantage of anybody. So that's my goal, that connect people to do that they would do even if they don't get paid. I mean, not because they cannot make money with that, but because that's kind of, the tip of the iceberg. Yeah. If you know what you would do even if you don't get paid because you love it, uh, and you follow that, they say passion is your compass. This would be a very different world.
Agreed. So everyone check out Mabel's website, mabelkatz.com, mabelkatz.com, to find out where in the world she may be, because the podcast definitely reaches over 175 countries, so we're all over, and getting her
Beautiful.
books, or figuring out, if you want to study a little bit more with Ho'oponopono, because I definitely been intrigued, and I haven't used it a lot, but I will now be using it more. So thank
All
you,
right.
because I'm all on board with all the things that you said in terms of becoming an observer, about letting go and letting God, about trusting, about being in zero frequency, and getting your downloads and your inspiration and your messages and your guidance from that place versus in our heads and in our intellect, and definitely about not being present. Most people are definitely not present. So because we're worrying about the future, or we're thinking about the past. And so that sweet spot of being present is really where life is. So we create and have the most amount of power from that place. So Mabel, thank you so much for making time to be on the show today. Where are you in the world right now?
Right now I'm in Spain.
Okay, excellent. Well, I've got some listeners in Spain. So
yeah. Well, I was in Croatia, Serbia, Romania. I go to weird places.
Well, Spain's not weird. And there are definitely some people listening right now who are in Spain. I know that for certain. So you never know. So please check out Mabel's website. And again, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much, JJ, for the opportunity. God bless.